this video is not about me trying to cram all the features of Premiere Rush into one video. I'll be talking more about my attempt to edit on the go with the least amount of hassle possible, as well as testing the limits of the app. Hey, it's Chie from my parents' house in Japan on the veranda holding this mic, as we want good audio for these videos. So here we are. We'll be talking about my process, the gear I used, pros, cons, and then publishing onto YouTube from just an iPad. And since I'm new to this app, I might have missed a couple of features or whatever that could have made my life easier. So if you do find those, just comment below and I might check them out and make my life easier in the future. I appreciate that. But, you know, at some point you just gotta make the video publish. So hey, I'm trying to record before it starts raining. 12.9-inch 2018 iPad Pro, 512 gigabit. Oh no. Apple Pencil, iPad Magic Keyboard, iPhone 13 Pro for footage, and the Elgato Wave 3 for mic. Makes my voice sound really nice. The apps I used: Premiere Rush, Photoshop, YouTube Studios, I guess Notion. And I will also mention that the voice recorded was directly recorded into Premiere Rush on the iPad. So I just plugged this little dude right in there, right in here, not on the keyboard, on the iPad. Really crispy. Yeah, no, the audio turned out really good. If you're a user of Premiere Pro, I don't think the switch is very hard. I think the Apple Pencil does a good job of kind of replacing the hotkeys that you might otherwise use on your PC or Mac or whatever. So no, the app itself is very intuitive, very light, simple. It's a very good replacement of Premiere Pro if you just want the light version just on your iPad. My process usually starts with thumbnail and title thoughts, kind of hash those out first. Not make them, but kind of list out possibilities, and then write a bullet version of the script, then fill out the actual meat parts, either word for B-roll parts so that I can voice over it later, or bullet points for the A-roll parts, like right now. And then I would record the footage and then take that into Premiere Pro, or Rush in this case, and then craft the story, do a rough edit first, and then fill in any gaps with B-rolls if I'm missing some parts of the story, or if I wanted to re-record some voiceover parts, I would do that then. And then sprinkle in some illustrations and sound effects, and then do some iterations on thumbnails until I get approval from myself or Caleb. I usually run through the thumbnails with at least one other person so that it's not just me thinking that it's good and then it's actually not good. Outside input is actually really important. I do want to mention though that making this video, I am not using Rush because I'm using a camera that's not my iPhone, and then it's plugged into my computer right now on a cam link with this thing, Elgato mic, also plugged into the computer. This footage that you see right now, very crispy and nice. In order for me to transfer that from my PC to the iPad, in order for me to use it in Premiere Rush would be a hassle. What compromises did we make? There were a lot less visuals than I would have otherwise put into Premiere Rush. Oh, I didn't edit the audio at all. It was just the in-app Premiere Rush edit. Just, you know, this is voice, boost it a little bit, and that's about it. I did bring the Premiere Pro files that had the transition that I have been using so far in my videos with me, but I actually couldn't really find a way to transfer them to Premiere Rush, so I didn't use those. Instead, I just drew new ones and popped them into the video. Let's get into the pros and cons list. You can edit anywhere. I edited this video in, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 different places. Not this one, the other one, the vlog. I edited it in our hotel, a pañasan, like a bakery place that we went and got breakfast at, the Shinkansen, the bullet train, and at my parents' house, on the table, and in the bed. So yeah, it's crazy. I even took this off of the case and edited it that way because you actually just really don't need the keyboard. The only time you need more keyboard is if you have to type something, which we'll get into it later, but I don't think there's a caption feature. So I was typing in Photoshop. It is super responsive, like crazy responsive. So you'll be scrolling through your footage and you can just, there's no freezing. It's just smoothness. It's really easy to use with the combination of your iPhone. If you have one that you're using for footage, and then plugging it right into your iPad and then dragging files onto it, and or your iCloud directly download so that you can use it locally onto your computer. Apple Pencil experience is something else. I like hotkeys. You know, I use a lot of hotkeys for all of the applications I use. Premiere Pro, Audition, Photoshop, Blender, Substance Painter, everything. All the applications I use shortcuts. I even brought my Stream Deck with me thinking that I might use it, which in this video, making this video, I will be using. But for using Premiere Rush, I didn't use any hotkeys. It was just this guy. This replaces hotkeys. So I had one hand on the left side of the keys for deleting and duplicating sticky keys. I don't know what they're called. On the left side, there's a bar that I will show right now. The built-in effects that you can drag and drop onto your files is also very responsive and intuitive, and it's just right there. There's no hassle to use them. It also works really well with whatever other apps that you might be using on your Apple iPad. There's so many things that are just flying and driving all the time. It also worked really well using the Photoshop app on the iPad as well. I would just export directly from Photoshop PNG onto the Files app, and then you would go into Premiere Rush, click on the plus button, and then click on Files, and then bring it right in. So that worked perfectly as well. All right, we are on to cons. I don't think there is a way to hear audio while you're scrubbing. So I was kind of disappointed in that. No audio playback responsiveness when you're scrubbing through your footage. Sticky timeline for me was kind of a con at some points of the editing process. I think it's totally fine when you're cutting up your A-roll, but then once you're going into adding titles or illustrations, B-roll, the sticky thing is, I wish you could just turn it off, for my workflow at least. And it was also sticky vertically too. If you had like a sound effect below your footage, it would stick to your footage. And so if you were trying to delete that particular footage, it would delete the thing. No. So that was kind of weird. There might be a way to see this, but I didn't readily availably see the decibels that shows up on your audio. So I didn't know to what I was adjusting to, which was kind of a bummer. So I was just guessing and throwing it out there, and hopefully it sounded good. Using Photoshop and Premiere Rush at the same time, it did crash a couple times towards the end when it was getting heavier with the files and illustrations all in there. But it did not lose anything, which is a pro. It's just always saving. I also like organizing my files in folders, and I didn't see an option for creating a folder in your files section within Premiere Rush. So I guess there is a search bar though, you can search things, but can I please organize my file? I was limited to 4 layers, which was good and bad. It does make you more creative in how you try to present your work within this limited layer section. 4 video and/or and then 4 audio layers, not 4 total. That would be ridiculous. All right, let's talk about exporting to YouTube, or just exporting in general. So at one point, I thought that maybe I could export it to my PC and touch it up in Premiere Pro, but transferring the Premiere Rush file from the iPad to the PC, the internet is correct that you can just go to the Premiere Pro and click this button and it's there because it's synced or whatever magic happens behind the scene. My video particularly had a whole bunch of footage because it was a vlog, and I did not feel like syncing up every single file. So naturally, I didn't go do that. I edited it and finished it on the iPad. Okay, so when you're exporting and it's on the iPad, it exports to your camera roll. So I did that. It crashed a couple times before I actually got it to, I had to close some things on the iPad. I don't actually know why, but it crashed once or twice at the very beginning when I was trying to export. I thought it was not gonna export. I was maybe having a little bit of a heart attack there, but it exported, I think the second or third time, perfectly fine to my camera roll. From there, I used the YouTube Studio app to upload my video, and then I went into Photoshop, edited the thumbnail, and then yeah, hit publish. Overall, I did really enjoy using Premiere Rush, just being able to lounge anywhere, doing it really actually on the go, even, you know, on trains or cars, even if you're on a car couch with your cat on this beautiful veranda, although it's not sunny today, but that's nice. It made the video editing process really fun and more relaxing, approachable, instead of, oh, hey, I'm gonna sit down at my computer and and bust this video out. No barrier to entry, just pop it open, hit that like button, click on the Premiere Rush button, and then it's super responsive from there. So, but I think I will have to say that I do not recommend for heavy duty things. If you have a lot of footage, it's going to be slower too. It does slow down after a little bit of adding really just a lot of files, just a little bit. Also, the sticky timeline thing that you should probably take into consideration if you are like me, when you like chunking things together or leaving gaps for reminders for yourself, all those things. And if you like animating with layers or using layers in a way that is more editable and not everything is on one layer and kind of used as frames. I had to kind of approach it that way this time because you couldn't have 4, 5, 6 illustration layers that are movable by themselves. I had to export the illustration on one layer and then turn on the next layer in Photoshop and then export that layer. So in Premiere Rush, it's kind of like frame by frame. I really like crafting the story with the A-roll first, so I'll probably do that in Premiere Rush because the process is so easy to clip out all the bad parts and then bring it back into Premiere Pro on my PC to do the rest of the work so that I can lounge on the couch or the bed or coffee shop and then do the heavy duty work on my PC. Definitely doable. It makes you get creative and really think about what you're gonna do, how you're gonna display things, how are you going to place things, layering things. It makes you really think. It's an interesting limitation to put on yourself. It's a good challenge. And it's a lot of fun because it's very portable. Let me know in the comments below if you have used Premiere Rush and what your experience was like editing on the go. Or if you have a system that doesn't utilize Premiere Rush and you have something that works for you when you're traveling, I would also like to know what you use and I might try them out. I don't know. If you like this video, don't forget to sub and ring the bell. And if you are a creative like me, trying to level up your systems to optimize your creativity and not listen to cars in the background, stay tuned for more videos like these. And I will see you in the next one.